Yo, it's D.Arthur in the building. Talking to you guys today about why your life gets better while you're on semen retention. And why you can somehow subconsciously attract any woman that you want while you're on retention. Now, the science behind why your life gets better when you're on semen retention, as opposed to your life when you're not on semen retention, it comes down to a psychoanalytical thought process, and it's like this: the man who retains his semen has what you like to call the X factor. The X factor. The man who retains his semen has the X factor when it comes to anything. When it comes to life, when it comes to women, he has the advantage. He has the advantage. If we're talking about boxing, or fighting or something like that, the man who held his semen the longest time before the fight usually is the one who's gonna win. That's not the solidified reason, but that is a part of it. That's a big part of it. Now, the reason why, let's say, your life gets better, and let's say like your choose me signals to women are very exposed on semen retention, is because you're finally becoming who you're really destined to be. You're really destined to be someone who's happy and who's satisfied with life. And semen retention helps you become happy and satisfied with life, attracting more things to be happy and satisfied about. But the important key is to hold it. A lot of people like to get carried away. They like to be on a long streak, and then they're like, "Oh, it's time to release." The important thing is to hold it. If you can hold it and you can discipline yourself to hold it and to like put that energy into something else, maybe like a business, like I said before, maybe like trying to attract more women, maybe like work or anything like that, will tend to happen is that you'll finally get yours. If there's ever any time of your life where you were lacking in something, where you didn't have the means to do something, you didn't have any assets, you didn't have any charisma, you didn't have any physical strength, any intelligence, what will tend to happen is that you'll start gaining all of those assets with you on retention. So instead of counting the days, just start making it a lifestyle, because counting the days can get kind of corny. On one day 130 of semen retention. I mean, you can be on a long streak, but like, what are you doing outside of retention that is trying to propel you to the next level? I mean, counting the days is all right, but if that's your soul, if you base off just days, then you're kind of doing it for the wrong reason. The thing is, like, you have to use retention as the gateway to everything else. If you can use retention as the gateway, then you're going to be a lot more satisfied with your life. Now, in terms of woman attraction, the science behind that is that once you've retained your retention, your pheromones, your choose me signals, the signals that indicate to the other sex that you're ready to procreate, you're the most valuable male in the room, those are going to go off bonkers. They're going to be very, very, very it's going to be very noticeable how your pheromones interact with the woman. Your choosing signals will be increase your, let's say, your confidence, your everything that has to do with woman attraction with you will just skyrocket, making you the most potent, most valuable option when it comes to female attraction. Also, the best thing for you to do when you're retaining, to get the type of, let's say, woman that you want when you've retained, because a lot of guys like to complain about they're on a long streak but they're still not getting any woman attraction. Well, if that's the reason why, if that's the reason, then the thing is, there must be something else that you're not really doing, because it's kind of inexcusable. If you retain, and if you do other things like work out, meditate, take care of yourself, there should be no reason why you shouldn't be getting any choosing signals, why you shouldn't be a little bit more attractive. There must be something else that you're doing wrong. Maybe you're retaining, but you're not eating the right food, so it's kind of covering it. Or you're doing other things that you really shouldn't be doing while you're retaining. If you live an honest retain, the term is honest retention. If you live an honest retention, meaning you're retaining but you're also doing other things right too, then by all means that you're gonna have the choosing signals, the woman attraction, the success that you really, really, really want. But all of this takes retention, it takes discipline, and it takes a can-do attitude. Now, the psychology behind your life just becoming somewhat better is because that mood that you're in transmutes to other areas of your life. That energy that you harness might increase. You might put more energy into other things as well. Like you might put more energy into a business, into a relationship, into attracting somebody, into your work or your workouts and stuff. And then you just feel like everything in your life is more of an orderly conduct. And this is where the benefits kick in. The benefits kick in when you retain and you're using that energy that you now have to put into other areas of your life. Also, once the retention is there, you're definitely gonna notice that the woman attraction is there. And then when it's there, what you have to do, you have to pull them in, because you can be the most viable option in the room. But if you don't act on your hunches, and if a girl is giving you choosing signals but you're still not going to approach, then it's going to be a lot harder for you. I mean, she can do everything in her power, but she's probably not going to open up the conversation unless she really likes you. So when she does, let's say, get closer to you, or when she does make eye contact, observe, sure, and ask. A lot of guys like to say, like, how do I start the conversation? To start the conversation, you might say there's two things. There's an indirect approach, and then there's a direct approach. An indirect approach would be like, hey, do you know where this is? And then just point something out and then say something about that. Depending on how she acts and what she says around you is the deciding factor whether you should continue or not. If she's kind of cold, you might want to try again, but if it doesn't work, then you can just walk away. But if she does seem to be a little bit more flirtatious with you when you ask that question, then you can carry on, and then you can start talking about other things if that's the vibe you're getting. It's all about vibes. It's all about the vibes you're getting. Another thing that you can do that's a little bit more direct, you can just be like, hey, you just can't stop staring at me, can you? You can say this as well. Saying that gives her the idea that you're very confident. You're almost very. You have a lot of charisma, and you're just very okay with yourself to say that. Depending on what she says, she might say, "Oh no, I wasn't staring at you." She might be cold, or she might like the tease that you just gave her, and then she might reciprocate that energy. And that's the type of energy that you want. You want her to reciprocate that energy, but you can't force any of these things. Most of these things have to become natural to you. You just have to become very natural when it comes to this attraction, and you have to start thinking less logically and start thinking with a more of a emotional type of mind. Because if anything attraction is, it's not logical at all. There could be 20 reasons logically why she needs to text you back, but that's not the deciding factor when it's all said and done. So yeah, try those openers out if that's what you need. And yeah, like your life will just simultaneously just become better, and you'll just start having more purposeful interactions. And because once you relapse, it doesn't seem that you're that purposeful anymore. It kind of seems that you're just doing things to get through the motions. But once you retain, everything you start doing has more purpose. It has more oomph behind it. And this is the deciding factor in any attraction. The man who retains the most and the man who's taking care of other things will oftentimes than not be the man who wins in life and with attraction and anything else. Yeah, so try those openers out and see how it transpires for you. Also, like, comment, and subscribe. Also, I put down a free video training series to get more in depth into getting the choosing signals that you really want. So click on that link below. See y'all.